Liverpool versus everybody. This is Off the Dome. If you are new, this is just a segment where I come, usually myself and GBC TV, just talk about some things that's happening in the game, in and around the game. Mostly try to add something from Liverpool, if possible. This time around, it's not much to talk about Liverpool. There is one something I want to talk about with the incoming player, Naby Keita. Now, RB Leipzig played Frankfurt. I want to say either yesterday or the day before, and there is this feeling, I think, amongst a lot of Liverpool supporters and just in general, that Naby Keita is kind of this problematic player, and he's been accumulating some red cards, some yellow cards, thrown out of games, things of that nature. And it's something that we're going to talk about on the podcast that I'm doing this evening. But for me, if you watch that game between Frankfurt and RB Leipzig, it was a really hot game. These two teams are fighting to be up in the Champions League spots. We already know Bayern Munich has that league pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. That it's pretty much done. But you got other teams in and around them who want to fight for those other spots. So for that, you appreciate it. And I think for a neutral, someone who isn't really that accustomed or familiar to the Bundesliga, I think watching that game could excite you potentially about the players they have in that league and the teams. Both teams played really, really well. But like I said, that first half was very, very hot, a lot of tempers flaring, and you can see that it was some point going to boil over. Some challenges were kind of reckless. There was a penalty shout that, Bundesliga has VAR, so there's a penalty shout that was called back against RB Leipzig. They won a penalty, but they looked at the VAR and they overturned it. So you saw something maybe coming in, and what happened was after the whistle in the second half, or not Naby, he went. I don't even know if you can call it a challenge, because to me it didn't seem that bad. Again, this is I'm watching on TV. I'm not there at the stadium. I didn't feel the impact of Naby, so maybe he went in harder than it looked. To me, it looked pretty soft and didn't really warrant any kind of really reaction the way that I can't remember the player's name now. Asian guy to have a Frankfurt retaliated. So was it late? Definitely. It was definitely late. Was it unnecessary? Possibly. Did it warrant that kind of response that kind of spoiled over into this brawl, is what they're calling it, which it wasn't a brawl. It was a couple of players pushing each other. That was it. I don't think it warranted that. Naby ends up hurt. I hope it's not anything major. I can't remember if they say it was a knee or thigh or some issue, but I don't think this guy's a problem. I don't think he's, as the West Ham employee mentioned earlier in the season or not too long ago, he's not one of these African guys that's causing mayhem, and not in a bad way anyway, in my opinion. I think the fire within Keita, at least for me, is something that I really value about him, and I'm really proud that we're getting a player like that, because we need that. Mame, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us, or joining me. GBC TV may be joining us later. I don't know for sure, but we'll just rock it out either way. So, Keita is getting all this flack about him being this kind of problem player, and Klopp needs to give him a stern talking to when he comes to Liverpool and get him in line. That's foolish to me. If you think about the best midfielders ever, a lot of them have this still about them, and you want that. You think about, I hate Man United, but you think about Roy Keane, for example. I mean, this guy was a shithouse. I mean, he was a nasty fucking player, man. He was just ruthless in the midfield. But he's a player that as being a Liverpool fan, sad to say, but I really could appreciate that in his game. Same thing with Cantona, equally as nasty. But there's certain players that you kind of not let them slide, but you allow them to express themselves. You know what I mean? I can deal with a red card here, a red card there. Maybe it's not like he's getting one once a month. You know what I mean? He had a few red cards. I don't know what happened the season before, kind of Naby's breakout season. But I think people are overreacting. I think the Premier League is going to suit him very, very well. I cannot wait. I'm watching these games with him, with RB, and I just can't wait. I cannot wait to get him in, and obviously the other players that we hopefully will get in. But I don't think Naby's a problem. I think he's got a lot of fire within him, and I think that's really going to help us. We need that in our team. So again, I don't see it as anything negative. I can only see it as a positive. I've been wanting that for a long time, and we haven't had it. And to be getting that is really something that I'm proud about. Strong character, yeah, hot blooded. We like his stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. But it's of course people are gonna have this kind of opinion about him. I'm not gonna make this a race thing, but um, if it were other players from other places, I don't think too many people would have the same to say. I'm just saying. But I move on. I want to talk about pitch invasions as well. I think at this point we probably know that Sergio Aguero got involved with a little scuffle or whatever incident, if you will, with a fan from Wigan. And first of all, just on pitch invasions, as a fan, when you see stuff like that on TV, I feel good about it. I speak for myself. I feel good about it because you feel like, oh man, I would love to be in that kind of environment where, the camaraderie with the fans, you run the pitch and, you show love to your players. But at the same time, as I say that, I don't know that I actually would do it. It's just too much to risk. These players are coming off the field and they have their emotions. They're raw after losing the game to a team that they, in their mind, probably think they should have beaten, even with one man down. Down to 10 men. And then you got these fans who, probably not in a million years thought that they would, be in the FA Cup round 5, I think, and knock off arguably the best team in Europe, at least the best team in England. A team from League One. They just to do that is amazing. So you get those two clashing, and it's only a setup for something negative to happen. And at the end of the day, as much as I hate City, what Aguero did is something that I would do as well. You can't be in somebody's face, in their face like that. I don't know what he did. Allegedly, he spit on him. I don't know what it was, but whatever he did, the fact that he approached him like that and thought that nothing was going to happen, or maybe he was ready for something to happen. He's probably been drinking. Who knows? But that pitch invasion stuff needs to stop, man. It's too reckless. It's too much of a high risk of somebody getting hurt, man. And I think Aguero's motion to him was kind of like a backhanded fist, almost like a pushing him away kind of thing. I don't think it was a punch, really. I don't know if he'll get any kind of retrospective action, punishment, or whatever. But again, he did what I would do, and I feel like a lot of other people would do as well. The pitch invasions are just it's too risky, man. And somebody's really going to get hurt. Everybody should be happy that it wasn't anything more extreme than what it was. So it's just one of those things. I get it from the fans' perspective. You beat a heavyweight like that. You're gonna be emotional, and you want to run out and show that. But it's just too much to risk. So I mean, congrats to Wigan, that club, the manager, their fans for beating City. But again, I just think that needs to be looked at. There's a reason why players aren't allowed to run on the field when the players are playing. It shouldn't be different when the players are leaving the pitch. The players should be clearly gone. If you're going to have the pitch thing, you should be waiting for the players to get off the pitch and then have the players run on. It's just too much to risk, again, and it's not worth it when you can just keep that as a rule of no players on the pitch. You know what I mean? They're quick to throw guys off who run on the pitch when players are on the pitch. So why allow that to happen when players are still on the pitch? I know it's the end of the game, but somehow they need to be escorted off, and then you can have people rush the field. I don't know if that would be the same kind of excitement from fans, but I'd like to think that their parents would be happy knowing that their children will be getting home. Children or husbands or sons, whatever, brothers will be getting home safely without all the extra riffraff. So those are my feelings on that. Champions League. Two really, in my mind, very boring games today. Besiktas, I didn't even realize till later that they went down to 10 men pretty early in the game, and they really held their own for most of that match, at least in the first half. I believe it was 0-0 until the second half. But again, they're down to 10 men against a Bayern team. The young kid Coman, which is a beast, or Corman, whatever his name is, I think he's French. I mean, he set up the first goal, scored the second. I stopped watching after that. I was at a pub watching it, and the game was on, but I was more so focused on the Barcelona and Chelsea, because although that game to me wasn't that exciting, it was a closer affair, so I wanted to pay more attention to that. But Besiktas, yeah, they had no chance being down to 10 men, and it seemed like once Bayern started scoring, almost like Liverpool in a way. Once we start scoring, it's unlimited. The amount that we can get. So. That wasn't that enjoyable to watch. The Chelsea-Barcelona game, again, the same thing. And I've been saying it, I keep saying it. To me, Willian is their best player. I don't want to hear anything about Hazard, Morata, Fab, as they call him, Fabregas. I don't want to hear anything about those guys. It's Willian for me. It's a shame that he's been out of the team so much. You notice every time he plays, every time he's in the game, usually good things happen for them. It happened against us. There's a boatload of other games that they had that he came in and played a good part. I thought Batshuayi, while he was there, played a good role. But again, I was actually kind of surprised to see Willian in the game today. I don't know their injury issues or what, though, the rotation, but I was surprised to see him. But when I did see him, I thought, you know what? They may have a chance. Yes, just for Willian being in the game. Hazard, once again, all this world class I keep hearing was pretty much a ghost today. He did nothing in the game. Willian had a chance to pretty much beat Barcelona single-handedly 3-1. He missed two off the bar on each side in the first half. Finally, the third one, he makes some space again like he did for the first two goals. Surely he gets a pass at some point, but those goals, those shots, and then the one he actually made, those are goals he's making himself. And it almost feels like he's auditioning to be about a Chelsea man. I think a guy like Willian, if you have him on your team, he shouldn't be sitting the bench. I don't care who you have. He's just too lethal to that team, man. I mean, there's certain points where he's breaking through the defense, getting fouls, things that Hazard is known to do from time to time. But again, I'm tired of people telling me he's world class. This is a big stage against Barcelona. You had all that mouth to talk about how you want a revenge against Messi because Argentina beat Belgium in the World Cup, but you came up small yet again, mini-me. So I'm tired of. Please stop telling me about Hazard being world class. He's not. He's not. World class is measured on how you step up in big games, not when you beat bum teams and score a bunch of goals. And I know, look, listen, I know he's been a part of Chelsea winning titles in the Premier League. I get that. I think he's a good player, world class. Miss me with that. The comparisons to Messi, please stop it. And to be fair, Chelsea should have gotten all the points today. The goal that Barcelona got, they got it from Chelsea making a mistake at the back. It's as simple as that. They didn't really work hard for anything like that. They got a steal. One of the defenders gave it away. I forget who it was exactly, but that's the other thing. Everybody's hyping Christensen. He had a woeful game today, in my opinion. He was lucky in the first half. He had a bad back pass, and it ended up going out of bounds for a corner kick instead of to a Barcelona player. But the Barcelona looked pretty average today too. And I said, if Chelsea was going to have a chance today, Mommy said, agree with you on Willian. There'll be a lot of changes at Chelsea next season. Yeah, I agree. And I look forward to it. I take Willian. I don't know if he even be on our radar, but another Brazilian, another player I would take who works hard for the team. I wouldn't be mad about that. But going into the game, even though I said Barcelona would beat Chelsea, which I stand by, I did think they beat them. I said when I saw Willian was one, but I said if he parks the bus, plays that low block, he has a chance. He can frustrate a team like Barcelona. And that's what they did for the most part. They sat back. They let Barcelona have the ball. They got some of the ball as well, but they let Barcelona have the ball. Barcelona couldn't do anything with it. Your boy, the biter, everybody's favorite player, Suarez. Nothing today. A lot of diving. He had some moments where he was getting the better of his defender, but no real finishing product. It was just two pretty average teams today. I mean, it just wasn't that exciting of a game. As exciting as you might think it should have been, with the players that both teams have. More so specifically with Barcelona, I think it's pretty fair to say they have the better team as far as like for like, position for position, players from back to front. Barcelona clearly has a better team. There are some Chelsea players, or at least a Chelsea player, Fabregas, being somewhat familiar with Barcelona. People brought that up as a talking point, as if that was going to help them win. At the end of the day, I do have to give Chelsea credit. That's a decent result. It's not the best result, though, because it's a point Barcelona gained away from home. So that's not really good for them. They're bringing that back to Barcelona, and that's going to be good for them going forward. So, I think he's got to. I think Antonio Conte's got to play the same way. Low block. That's the only way they're going to beat Barcelona. There's no way they can just open it up and play with them. It's just not going to happen. Long ball over the top, and then try to catch him on the break maybe. Courtois getting the ball early and then getting the ball out, rolling it out to one of the fullbacks, Azpilicueta, and then pushing it up. But other than that, there's no chance I think they have unless they continue to play that way. Ian, what's up, man? Hey, man, watch the game. Chelsea was Barca. Agree with Willian as a class player. I think Barca will progress. Yeah, I think so, too. This was a really, really big result for Barca. It's a better result for them than Chelsea in the grand scheme of things because, again, Chelsea was at home at the Bridge, and they conceded that goal, and a goal that wasn't necessary. They didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? They were in control of that game for the most part. Again, they had the better chances throughout the whole game. They were a bit unlucky today. Again, you look at these teams, man, not to be cocky, but maybe Bayern, and again, they beat a team that was down to 10 men. Other than that, there's nobody in this remaining 16 that worries me at all. We haven't seen United play Sevilla. We know what Sevilla can do to us. So I don't really need to see them play just yet. But there's no team that really worries me. Maybe I'm being a little too cocky, but I don't see it. There's nothing out there. We still got to see United and Sevilla. We still got to watch. Oh God, what's the other one? Roma and Shakhtar. But I don't see anything with any of those teams. Yeah, exactly, Ian. Exactly. They would struggle against our attack. Yeah, that me too. I'd rather see them than Chelsea, to be honest, because Chelsea's gonna play at low block, and although I do feel like we can break that down, and we've improved that just from one season to the next, I'd rather just play our open football against a team that I know will play the same way and take our chances that way than going a whole game and worrying about if we're gonna have a breakdown from trying to play defense as good as we can, and then the 80th, 90th minute we get a fluke Willian goal or whoever. So I'd rather play Barcelona. But Adam, what's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for you guys, man, sticking around. Really light tonight, which is cool. I don't mind, but thank you guys for stopping in. What's up, Liverpool family? Gonna drop in and drop out tonight. Real tired tonight. Yeah, man, no problem. Thanks for showing the love. I appreciate that. I agree. Shouldn't be on anybody's bench. Yeah, Sevilla versus Man United tomorrow night should be interesting. Can't wait for that one. Squeaky bum time for GBC tomorrow. Exactly. Yeah, hopefully he'll join us tonight. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that, man. I know you don't have a lot of time, but it feels good to know that you popped in real quick. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I want to talk about. Again, just seeing these teams so far. Again, I know there's two more teams or two more games to be played, so we can see how those games are going to go. But I'm not fearing anybody in this competition. And I think at one point, the idea that Liverpool fans would say that we can beat this, people probably thought we were crazy. But I guarantee you there's no coach in that Champions League that wants to face Liverpool. I guarantee you that. So we're rolling. Every game is big now. The game at West Ham has been a while off. As I said earlier, it seems like an international break, which is so frustrating because you just can't wait to see Liverpool play. So you fill your time with watching these other teams and watching. I know myself, I go back and watch old games, Southampton, Huddersfield, Porto, of course. Trying to watch a little bit of West Ham. But yeah, it's going to be a long time coming to say. I mean, it was Wednesday now, so we don't have that much longer to go. But you know what I mean. But yeah, looking forward to that game. Some of the players that can hurt us from West Ham, they're not many. I started to say Ayew, but I forgot he would make the Swansea. I don't think there's anybody really that could help hurt us, to be honest. Lanzini, maybe. They're just not a good team, let's be honest. Moyes is not a good manager, let's be honest. It's a team that we should be doing pretty well against. I know it's the Premier League and anything can happen. I don't want to get too overconfident. A lot of times when we have these breaks and we go off, the clock takes you guys off to these hot, warm climate areas. We come back and we don't always come back. We don't always do well when we come back from that. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or what. I don't want to be too superstitious about it. I trust that this team is becoming even more and more together. You know what I mean? Tight knit, and I think that's a great thing. Eastboy official quarterfinals. Yay, that's what's up, man. All right, Adam. See if you can come back. Yeah, quarterfinals. Basically got our ticket punched again. It's not all done and dusted yet. We still have to beat Porto at Anfield. That could be a crazy game. You don't know what's going to happen. It's football. But it looks like we got at least 1 foot in at this point. We just got to do our best to play hokey pokey and get the other one in. So, again, I'm excited about it, man. Adam said, I think we'll get Bayern next round. Yeah, I got a feeling we might do that as well, which, again, so far of all the teams, they are one of those teams where you think, okay, I got my eye on Bayern. I know they're playing Besiktas, and people will say they beat a team that was down to 10, and Besiktas not a good team, and yada yada yada. You got to play who you got to play, and that's a dominating performance either way. You know what I mean? And Again, they got some really, really good players. We know the names. And how fitting would it be, for Klopp to go against Bayern, a team who's put him out of the Champions League, who he's battled with um, loads of times in the Bundesliga. Some good memories, some bad memories, I'm sure, but um, as he had to fight against Borussia Dortmund in the Europa League, it'd be really nice to see him bring his new team against Bayern if we get them. But I think that's a good shout at him. I wouldn't be surprised at that. But yeah, West Ham, we gotta knock them off. We have to keep consistent. Onyx came on and spoke about it on his installment, Knicks News, and I piggyback off of that. We can't have any letdowns right now. The team is becoming, together, like I said, a really strong, cohesive unit, and it's Liverpool versus everybody, literally. It's up us against all odds. People are still doubting us. Own fans, neutrals, fans of other teams, pundits, and that's the best way I like it. I love it that way. I love it where we can, come in and defy the negativity, and defy what people think, we can do as a team. So I don't mind it. It's all good for me. I believe in the team, and I think we'll be okay. You said, nah, not Bayern, Mame. It's the team I fear the most. Yeah, I mean that's fair. I don't fear any team. I mean, yes, but like I was saying, they probably are the team right now. And I'm forgetting about Real Madrid. I mean, I think those two teams, Real Madrid mainly because obviously it's Real Madrid, and also the pedigree. How good they've been in this competition, back-to-back Champions Leagues. They're definitely made for this competition. But again, I don't necessarily fear them or Bayern. They're just the two teams that when I look at all the 16 teams besides us, I think, okay, those two teams might be able to give us a good run. Seeing what Barcelona did with Chelsea today, I just these are the so-called giants of Europe. I don't know. And again, I got to give Chelsea credit. They raised their game, but I mean, wow, I just didn't really see that coming. So, but that's pretty much it tonight, guys. I don't have a whole lot to say other than that. Leave some comments if you like. Afterwards, I'm gonna sign off, get some food, spend some time with the family. Thanks again to Mame, Adam. Yeah, no, that Chelsea and United game is going to be really, really good. But yeah, all of these games are big, man. Mommy, we must win against West Ham, man. Yeah, that's another game where we gotta take advantage of teams dropping points. We got to do that. Too often we haven't. We've done okay with that this season. Um, but listen, we just got to keep winning ways. Hopefully what Mane did at the Champions League match, he'll be able to continue. Genie as well, playing really, really good. Everybody just got to keep up the same kind of fight. I think Van Dijk is slowly but surely becoming that real solidified leader, especially in the back. You can see now for sure, Lovren and Matip are both playing well when they've been in there with him, as well as Karius. He's had some rocky moments coming in. Of course, opening up with Everton, had a good game, scored a goal. But then after that, a couple games were a little dodgy, which you understand. He's new to the team. He's not going to come right in and save anything. But over the last few games, you can see that his presence alone is just really, really, really good. And if West Ham are going to sit back, he's a player that can drive up and be in their half of the field, and he can be that quarterback role. He can pinpoint passes. You can watch, if you really pay attention, he's good at the diagonal passes, just hitting passes deep in general, long passes. So him and Matip are really, really good at kind of driving up, especially when they give us that much of the field with that low block. So, yeah, excited. I just can't wait to see Liverpool again. So the next one is West Ham at home. I don't know Moyes' record at Anfield. Doesn't really matter. But we should be mopping the floor with them. That's just what it is. We should be mopping the floor with them, and I plan on us doing that. So, again, shout out to Adam, East Boy, Mame, Ian. I think that was it. If there's anyone else I forget, but I think that's it. East Boy, Adam, Mame, Ian. Yeah, thanks, guys. I will be back probably tomorrow during a post match and any other news. Probably talk more about the lead situation with maybe Mane and Firmino getting deals. More so Mane, I think, is what's servicing right now. But yeah, if anything about Liverpool comes up, I'll bring that, and also a post match from the Champions League game, Sevilla versus Man United, and Roma versus Shakhtar, which could be an interesting game as well. All right, Mame, take care. Adam, see you later, buddy.